Hey, and welcome to this Woman Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John TABACCO. We're coming here today live as we do every day, noon to 2 Eastern, from the Newsmax headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. We're, of course, in the Question Tequila Studios. We are well fortified, and we are going to drink a lot today. That I can assure you. Before getting in the top of the show guests, leading off the show, we got a blockbuster for you. Take a quick look downtown at the New York Stock Exchange. Dow is down about 27 points as we speak, but still holding well above that 27,000 support line. And Bitcoin also about 10,200 today. 10,000 was the number I've been talking to. We want to keep seeing it close above that number to develop some support. Any good news or liquidity should bounce it higher. And bouncing higher it is for this show, when we're lucky enough to have joining us Bernie McGuirk. You might also know his producer, Jill Flirty Flipper from the Bernie and Sid show here on WABC in New York. And, you know, when you have guests like this joining you, and they've both been on Liquid Lunch before, but today it's not just for a conversation. They're newsmakers. They're news breakers. And I usually let Frankie, my co-host, do all the news breaking. But today I wanted to do it myself. Yesterday and today, the big news is Corey Lewandowski going into the Congress and schooling Gerald Nadler. Here's what he said yesterday.
Hakeem Jeffries trying to lecture you that this is some, respectable House of Representatives, this body, this august body, seeming to say to you, show some respect. And when clearly the House is loaded with these clowns, these freaks, nutcakes, these ISIS bride-like thinking congresswomen and all that stuff. I mean, give me a break. Hakeem Jeffries lecturing you.
Well, look, the truth is they're so afraid that I'm going to run for the U.S. Senate and win in New Hampshire. Right. That's what this is really about. This is about scoring political points against me because they don't want me to go and announce I'm going to be the next U.S. Senator from New Hampshire, to run for that seat, to beat Jeanne Shaheen. So I'm told that some of my friends put a website up, standwithcorey.com. I appreciate that support, and if people want to support me, they can go do that. They are...
Okay. We're going to start over. Welcome to Liquid Lunch. Joining us today are the host and one of the hosts of the Bernie and Sid show, and Jill Flirty Flipper. You may know her as a producer of the show. And yesterday, Corey Lewandowski was the big news, and he was before the Congress yesterday. And I believe these things happen on live television sometimes. We have some footage of Corey Lewandowski from yesterday, a video from Congress in front of Gerald Nadler. Okay, we don't have that video. All right. Well, I tried it twice, guys. Right. Corey went in there yesterday, basically, talked about executive privilege, White House privilege. I'm not answering these questions. They try to hit him from every which way, and he used this tone like almost asserting the fifth. Right. I'm not going to answer that on advice of the White House counsel.
No, should he? Right.
Exactly. Right. So now Corey Lewandowski, he can follow up his performance yesterday by going on any network in the whole country, maybe in the world, because everybody wants to hear from him. And he chose to go on the Bernie and Sid show and join you guys. I know I've heard him before on your show. I'm a big fan of the show. Why do you think, how did you guys develop a relationship with Corey? Why does he want to break the news and give his first interview to you?
Well, we've as you mentioned, we've had him on a few times in the past, and he knew me from my previous work, and I supported the president during the campaign, and of course, ever since then. And it's for that reason. So he's a good guy. He's a loyal guy, like the president. The president did the same thing with the first week of the Bernie and Sid in the morning show. The first week, the president came on the show and gave us our, our props and his gratitude to me and all that stuff. So that's why he came on. But I love the way he played those idiots for the fools that they were yesterday. I mean, he just made them look stupid, the stupid people that they are, stupid, desperate, angry people that they are. He was a master at it. He's a blue-collar guy from a single-parent family in Lowell, Massachusetts. He's like a street kid, and that showed yesterday. The pugnacious, combative Corey Lewandowski. He held his own yesterday, and it was a spectacle. It was fun to watch. But what a waste of time and taxpayer money. These people are so, I mean, what is going on with these people?
I don't understand it. Jill, you probably put in a lot of the legwork trying to track them down and get them on and line them up.
It's so funny.
No pun intended.
But it's funny because I was just like, I'm going to text Corey just to see if he'll come on. He probably won't because he's going to be so busy and so in demand. So I wrote him, Bernard McGuirk is asking if you can come on our show tomorrow morning. Response right away. Yes. So, and then he came on.
So,
That's it.
what did you think of the hearing yesterday? It seemed like a whole lot of nothing. Gerald Nadler is now talking about a contempt of Congress charge against Corey Lewandowski. I have a feeling Corey has a birdcage he's going to line with that contempt of Congress citation. It didn't seem to really further the ball in any direction.
Does Jerry Nadler look like he knows what he's doing? He looks
Hold on. You want to know what I think he looks like? Take a look at this.
Yeah.
That's what I think he looks like, me personally.
You know what? And he actually had it stapled or whatever it was, and I think he ate his way through it.
Yeah, right.
He's inching back towards that. But he seems as clueless and out of it as poor old Joe Biden, for God's sakes. He seems lost. Look, the president is like, I don't know. I analogize him to the Roadrunner, and the Congress is like Wile E. Coyote. I mean, everything they do backfires with this president. They tried the collusion thing. I mean, even who testified, John Dean, Michael Cohen, Robert Mueller, all backfired. And then, of course, yesterday, Lewandowski backfired as well. So, yeah, they're like Wile E. Coyote loading up the cannon with a shotgun or shot pellets or whatever.
You're like, me beep.
They turn around and they hold their ears and the cannon flips around and hits them in the butt.
He's on the Acme,
Yes.
on the Acme rocket.
Right, exactly.
He lights a fuse.
The president wins all the time, and they can't get any traction, and the people see through it. And I think they're paving the way for a 2020 victory, big time, in next year.
All right, you're ignoring the big news from one of the major Democratic presidential candidates, that of course is New York's own mayor, Bill de Blasio, who has been the only person that can bring everybody together on all sides. He's at 0% in the polls. He's supported statistically by nobody. However, he is determined to ban chocolate milk in New York City public schools. At least that's the recommendation from his school's chancellor, Richard Carranza. Flipper, I know you don't even keep soda in your house. They smash up soda bottles like Elliot Ness smashed up whiskey during Prohibition. What was your reaction to this proposal, which already is implemented in San Francisco and D.C., to ban chocolate milk in schools?
I hate to agree with that jerk de Blasio, but I'm totally for it. There's too many heavy, I don't want to say fat because I'll offend, there's too many heavy kids.
This is what I'm saying.
And I don't even have regular milk in my house. I have almond milk because we're the only species that drinks another animal's milk. I think we should ban all cow's milk.
They're not.
Just in schools, right? I mean,
No, forever. Everywhere.
No cow milk.
No
at
cow
all.
milk. Just almond milk or rice milk, whatever.
Frankie made the point yesterday that if they're banning chocolate milk, why not white milk? You know what I'm saying? Why are they taking aim
like,
at?
You think that's racist?
Yeah, like what? Yeah,
I do think it's racist.
It might be an equality issue.
They
If milk's
should-
bad for you, is
if
the
banning
flavoring bad
menthol
on them?
cigarettes is racist, banning chocolate milk is racist.
Fine, ban 'em.
It certainly is a form of fat shaming as well. I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm ashamed of you for actually agreeing with this form of fat shaming, despite what I said about Nadler earlier. You look, if a kid wants to drink chocolate milk, if it helps them learn, he's got to make his way in the world. If he's got to sit there and put the milk aside,
Yeah, but Bernie,
he's not going to get the
you
nutrition. If the nutrition is in chocolate milk, he's going to drink it, and he's going to perform better on his test.
There's no nutrition in chocolate milk at all. It's
Yes, there is.
sugar.
It's called calcium.
Yeah, how
You can get more calcium from
how
broccoli.
about parents handle their kids'
Right.
nutrition? You go to school, I don't want you buying chocolate milk.
Okay, but most of
if the kid buys chocolate milk and we find out, we punish him. We give him a little beating
lot
or
of these
something.
kids-
But you know,
Exactly
the
right.
parents.
A little beaten.
What?
Take the belt off.
What? Yeah.
I like that's exactly right.
A quick shot in the head. And say,
You can
hey,
tell he
don't
came
do
from
that
a strict
again.
household, right?
Oh my God.
I did as well. Listen, I agree. Same thing with meatless Mondays. I mean, who the hell are
crazy.
you to tell these?
No, that's good. Meatless
We
Monday.
all went to school with our lunch money. We got a hamburger, a chocolate milk, some fries,
hot
chocolate
dogs-
chip cookies, hot dogs.
hot
what the
dogs
hell?
and beans
Yeah.
were like the bomb back in the day.
But when we all went to school, we were outside moving around. Kids these days are playing video games. So
So
we
you
have
don't
to-
think when they go to school now they move around?
No.
They put them in the corner and let them play video games.
Yeah, and when they get home, they come home and they
I go
sit
by
still.
schools all over the place. I see kids running around and let's do stuff in schools to keep them fit.
the kids are smoking pot in the bathroom and they want to ban chocolate milk. Give me a break.
We should ban
Come
that
on.
too.
So you guys are an integral part of how New Yorkers wake up each morning, and I know, Bernie, you're a steadfast supporter of the police and the FDNY, and that's why
If you're
Bernie is giving
steadfast,
you
I'm
vodka
gonna give you the
in
police.
Yes, indeed.
I'm
an
going to give you
NYPD
the
shot glass.
FDNY. I'm
But
going to just
I have
take
to ask
one of these
you,
regular old
cheers with
plastic
bubbly
cups here.
on the wagon this week.
And he's preparing for his big wedding book. Guys, thank you for joining us. Yeah,
Thank you,
I gave
John,
you the
very
first
much.
responder.
But I have to ask about this, what Major League Baseball did last week on the anniversary of September 11th. Pete Alonso, the New York Mets first baseman, wanted to get special caps made commemorating the first responders, the police, fire, and the Port Authority, corrections. And Major League Baseball actually told him no. As somebody that's so integral to opinion making in New York, what was your reaction to this?
It was actual. My jaw was agape. I mean, I couldn't believe that they wouldn't allow it. I mean, look, they allowed down in Houston the players to wear Apollo 11 commemorative hats. Why not a 9/11? I mean, I just don't understand. I was offended by it. But I don't know what went into the decision, some sort of marketing thing. I hope it wasn't because, they were afraid that wearing an NYPD cap would offend Black Lives Matter or something like that. I don't know what went into the decision, but it was stupid.
Yeah, and actually Joe Torre said a couple of days ago it's not going to change. He wants to keep
It is
uniform.
what it is. They're going with the MLB is going with the some people did some things, and we don't want to weigh in on it.
I'm surprised that Joe Torre, who managed the Yankees,
he's part of the establishment now. He works for MLB, and they're going with.
We've got to drain the MLB swamp.
Drain the swamp.
Right, exactly.
But you know what? I give credit to. I'm a Met fan, unfortunately, but I give credit to this kid Pete Alonso, who's definitely going to be the rookie of the year. But he got the cleats made.
He did
with the FDNY and the NYPD, and he wore them on the field. And to me, that's what we want to see. These younger kids
and
doing
bought them for all the other
not
players,
kneeling
we
like
don't want
Colin
to see
Kaepernick.
the pig socks from Colin.
That's right.
To his credit, Odell Beckham Jr. did that a couple of years ago in New York as well. He wore the cleats, and he got fined for it, but he's still a jerk.
That's maybe one of the only good things he did to the franchise.
But I have to, you got to give credit where it's due.
So collectively,
unless you're a racist, of
you
course.
guys have about a half century of combined talk radio experience in New York, and I am curious. There's a book out now that basically says conservative talk radio is responsible for the rise of Donald Trump and his ascension to the presidency. Do you buy that, number one, and how influential do you think talk radio is these days in terms of the conversation about politics?
I think it's influential. It's probably lost a little bit of its juice in the past few years with all the new technology, the podcasts and online publications or whatever. But I would say, talk radio and listen, cable news, MSNBC, CNN couldn't get enough of Donald Trump when they thought he wasn't going to win the election. So they're responsible as well. They thought it was a joke, and they gave him all this publicity, and he killed it.
Yeah, Morning Joke. I call it Morning Joke, the show, or sometimes I call it Morning J.O., because that's what they do to their audience most of the time.
I call him the skunk and the...
Skank.
They were on every single. There it is. That's our graphic for Morning Joke. But they were on every single day, patting Trump on the back.
Exactly.
And now all they do is go on every day and say liar, 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 liar.
What would they
put him there.
What would they talk about, CNN and MSNBC, if it weren't for President Trump?
Nothing.
Well, could you say the same about Fox News, though? O'Reilly was sitting right where you're sitting, and he said Trump has destroyed cable news because now it's a reality show based on the White House. It's not news. It's just wall-to-wall, whatever Trump's doing.
It's so true. Look, they're out of their minds. Again, they're sick, they're deranged, they're sore losers, obviously. And anything they can do to put out a negative story about the president, they're on it. Starting with taking the Martin Luther King bust out of the Oval Office back when he first took office. I mean, that lie was out there. And, of course, as you know, a lie travels halfway around the world before the truth gets up and puts its shoes on, in the morning, as they say. And since then, they've been continuing that, right? The collusion hoax, right up until last week. You had Lawrence O'Donnell with the Russian oligarchs. You had Jim Sciutto with Trump was the incompetent buffoon that almost compromised the spy in Russia. False, fake, negative news.
Flipper did take the Imus statue out of WABC before taking over.
Well, Joe Vitale, Bernie McGuirk, I want to thank you guys very much for being here. You're out of your mind. You're deranged if you're not listening to Bernie and Sid and Jill on 77 WABC Radio every morning because they get the best guests. They get better guests than us. We can't get Corey Lewandowski. We can't even get his assistant, but maybe Jill could text him on our behalf. Bernie, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you, John, very much.
Jill, you're the bomb.
Appreciate it.
You stay right there. I need you. You stay right there. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back right after this. We're going to mix it up. Democrat, Republican. We're going to hit the topics. I'm going to have a drink. They're going to duke it out. The purple people will be next.